Okay, so as I was mentioned in the first part, I'm keeping my promise. I am going to finish this video with a little bit of beverage. Maybe I'm not gonna talk that much in this part, probably. So yeah.
Now, what I think happened was that perhaps New Jeans or Mini Jin was the one copying Islet. And if I were the creative director, after submitting all of my branding deck in July to everybody and then hearing that, no, she can't be copying, because, they probably hear tons of talk in that building. She probably wanted to get her hands on actual proof that New Jeans was gonna copy Islet or something. And so that's probably why she wanted to get a copy of it. What use does it have after they've already published their branding concept? So the timeline is really the truth, but Mini Jin is spinning this into something that couldn't have happened in reality. And as far as we know, this court is trying to make judgments on the validity of things that are real. And the weirdest argument is that she's saying that you must make me CEO again. If not, every time you decide not to make me CEO, you owe me about $10 million, about 10 billion won, so maybe that's $8 or $9 million. But in Korean, that is pegok. That's a huge uh, money kind of like psychologically a huge, huge number. That's gonna make her look really money grubbing. That's gonna make her look really
She already
out
looks
of
like that.
touch with reality. And even just, I think if the public, if they weren't paying attention and if Hyde was smart, they would bring it up and be like, she's the Pegok girl trying to shake down and threaten a company. Now, the reason that this is so weird is that this doesn't look like a very good strategy in any case. Maybe she's trying to do something where it can be a media play, but I don't even think that's going to work. So again, she's trying to enforce this whole procure thing that, like, hey, if I want to decide that I want to be the CEO, then Hybe has to back me up with its 80% shares in our shareholder meeting. Now Hybe's saying like, no, we have a snake in our bosom. So that gentleman's agreement is gone. And she's trying to enforce this and say like, look, you must make me the CEO. Now, the reason why I think that this is really not going to work is, again, when you go into court like this, especially in Korea, you have to appeal to the ramifications of these rulings because they become a past precedent, which basically means it becomes justification for which way the law should go. If you go with Mini Jin and another Mini Jin pops up later, because you know that once she wins like this, there's gonna be other Jezebels thinking like, well, maybe I should go to the JIT, Jezebel Institute of Technology or Treachery, and side with that. Now, the way that this is really just a stupid legal argument is that no company and their shareholders is going to want to be blackmailed, threatened.
And this is literally what I said in the first part. Like, if she is going to work for other companies, they are not going to let her be. Their eyes is going to be on her like 24/7.
By an employee, no matter how high that employee is, or, like if the employee in question right now we're talking about is the CEO, no matter how powerful or, big shot of a person a CEO is, no shareholder is going to want to be threatened by an employee like this trying to take over the company and trying to devalue their investment. So if you just think about like maybe like your house, let's say you had a tenant come in, be like a roommate and paying the rent, and you even cover their rent, and they find a way to steal the deed to your house or force you to sell it to them at a bargain basement price. We have the evidence that Minijin had planned this, was enacting on this in order to force Hybe to sell to her and her investors a door at a really, really throwaway Salvation Army price. And so what she did was hold the artists hostage. So what this Hybe is arguing is that this can happen again in the entertainment industry. Not only did they talk about the 50-50 situation where minority
Yes.
shareholders or no shareholders can try to usurp the entire company, they're saying that the strategy, the to do, the recipe for this is that you hold the artist hostage in your control, which basically means that if you don't do what I want,
First step is
if
grooming,
the
of course.
shareholders do not do what I, Mini Jin, wants, then I can basically make your investment worthless because this company is only worth something because of these artists. I control these artists
Yep.
and I can find a way to kick them out or do whatever, where basically you're going to lose all your money for sure if I mess this all up. However, you can cooperate and we can still, then that's the thing. Then that starts to change who is holding the gun. Well, if you cooperate, then maybe we can save your investment and maybe get you a little bit of a profit. It turns the tables, whereas the shareholders is supposed to be the one in power. It turns the tables where then they have absolutely no power. And the reason that I think this was a stupid move is that this is trying to challenge the entire power structure of Korea. Already she's saying like I can't do anything with 20%. 20% is a lot. There are a lot of big Korean conglomerates, family controlled, right? Remember we went over this term, it's family controlled but not family owned. Most of these top conglomerates, like including Samsung, they're not 50% plus one owned by the founding family. They have very small percentages, but they're able to engineer it so that they still have control. So this makes it even more risky for family controlled conglomerates in Korea to lose control from somebody who wants to do a coup or betrayal or hijack or do some hostile takeover that's not even a copacetic way to do a hostile takeover, but just a real manipulative, scheming, Jezebel Institute of Treachery type of way. So again, this whole hearing was about whether there's any validity to an injunction. Remember, injunct, stop. She's trying to get Hybe to stop something that they're not going to do because they already did do it. So where is the validity in even doing the procure clause? And the judge asked Mini Jin's lawyers, do you have any legal cases to back up your request? And they said no. Yeah, because it doesn't exist. And Hybe has already presented its side saying that we went to all the legal experts in Korea. They say it does.
I mean, her lawyer was on the stage in the press conference. They even laughed at her. So, but, huh?
Doesn't exist. So the judge went to Mini Jin's side and said like, okay, well, they say it doesn't exist and there's a lot of people backing them up on that. Do you have any examples or court?
Her mindset is remind me of the CEO or the building the mall, the pink mall that was collapsed in Korea. in 94, the owner of that plaza, the mindset of her, like she is the smartest and everyone have to obey her, and basically she know nothing about the law and the system and how it works, and she just says her lawyers eventually how she wanted to be presented, and the lawyers have no saying about it. Like, it sounds like that guy from the Pink Mall. Like, he has a company and the builders have to obey him, even if he does no background in the building work. Like, he just a really rich guy who owns the company, and suddenly he thinks he have the knowledge to back up the company, and he does not. So it reminds me of that story.
Cases where I can refer to and then make a decision. Does everybody do the homework for the judges? Anyhow, and they were like, no, we don't have any, but we'll look into it. We'll try to find some. They ain't never gonna find any. So they already know that they were in a losing cause. And I think that explains even the facial expressions of the lawyers at the April press conference, but they're probably just trying to see how far this thing can go, because she whipping up a whole Thanksgiving dinner out of this gravy. So they're probably thinking like, well, maybe we'll get fed at the end, when the best you can hope for is just licking the gravy dish. So then the judge was like, okay, well, if that's not gonna fly, then what are you trying to injunct? There's nothing on the agenda for.
She wants to punish Eilith. She wants to punish everyone who she thinks they copied her in her entire career, over her entire career. That's what she wants. She wants power, she wants money, she wants control over everyone and everybody and every situation she's in, and she knows everything because her shaman told her what she's supposed to do. So she knows everything 100%.
For the shareholders meeting for you to injunct, girl. So what you're trying to injunct? And she's like, well, I'm gonna put it on the agenda. Doesn't make sense. So she's gonna try to put something on the agenda for her to then stop. So if I was a petty shareholder, I would say, like, let's flood this agenda with items that take way too long, and maybe we'll get to her agenda item, like the wallpaper on the 16th floor, whether they have to change the tiles, maybe some new computer upgrades because we still can't find her laptop, maybe some ceiling lights, just anything. So what are the next steps forward? I think we need to blow the lid on the Kakao connection. Is there one or is there not? And put the onus on the Kakao Entertainment CEO, Kim Sung-soo in particular, to explain himself. Why did he show up?
Wait a minute. You guys cannot see it, but there he is, the Kakao CEO. Okay, cool.
Up in the Kakao Talk messages, where she said that she was gonna partner with him to take over HYBE and do a hostile takeover. Kim Sung-soo, who are you? Are you really in cahoots with Mini Jin? Because
Probably.
now it's beginning to look like the more you are associated with this woman, the less credibility or no credibility you have whatsoever.
Sure.
You're destroying your reputation by being associated with her. And see, like, whether she was just saying that out of conjecture, or do you really have an agreement and have been working behind the scenes to sabotage HYBE
I can believe
with perhaps the five Eagle brothers? Who are them five Eagle brothers? What kind of shamanistic Dollar Shave Club type of thing is going on with the five Eagle brothers? Now, who is this guy?
Faulty.
he seems like a really accomplished guy, and it would be quite a tragedy if an
I mean,
association with Mini Jin was gonna.
he was the one who was in charge during the SM hype, Kakao Talk controversy or conversation over who is gonna buy out SM in stocks. He was the Kakao Talk CEO then as well. I'm interested because okay, whatever.
Bring him down because he survived some embezzlement accusations of his own, but the court cleared him of that. But that's the shady stuff that I was able to find. But on the whole, his career seems to be quite good, and that he's done actually a lot of
Jim probably right now is ruining his career, so it's fine. She comes for everyone.
great things for the Korean entertainment industry. He's like a CJ man through and through. He got his start at CJ's, I believe, advertising unit, and then he moved on to the entertainment division of CJ. His biggest title was to be the CEO of CJ E&M. CJ E&M right now, hey, looks pretty strong. But when he took over, he was really the underdog. And he was able to compete with the terrestrial broadcasters. Now, because of Netflix and all the streaming platforms producing a lot of K content, we're looking at like KBS, SBS, NBC as sort of fuddy duddies. But even during that time, which is about like 2014 ish, when I believe, he became like the CEO and started doing really great things. The CJ products, CJ channels were essentially the cable channels that were always like second class compared to like SBS, KBS, and NBC because they were like the kings and queens of the K drama. He literally put the non major networks on.
Okay, so eventually, yes, he has a good career. And I was following the SM hype, Kakao Talk, buyout stuff, this story, the like as I'm following right now, Min Hee-jin's story. I was looking into it, but maybe it's the soju, but I am not clearly remember how that story ended. If my memory serves well, at the end, Kakao Talk buyed out SM. But Hybe was really close, but they had something, they went behind someone's back and the shareholders were not happy or something like that. I swear I followed the story, but as I said, the soju is stronger than me at this point, so yeah.
On the map in creating hits like Superstar K, Mishang, the Reply series, Grandpa Over Flowers. So he really made it viable, it looks like. At least
Grandpa
this
over
profile of
flowers
him
sounds interesting.
glowed about how, it looked like he really did have a hand in bringing new trends to the K drama industry, great shows, and prove that you don't have to be one of the big dogs. So, in a way, though, it seems when we're talking about this, is that he's kind of like, does have a resonance with Mini Jin's vibe of usurping whoever's the major power player. So maybe.
Okay, but it's different if you are a underdog and if you a snake. I would not say that it's the same thing, because if you're an underdog, then you work yourself up from the ground and you became someone like the CEO of Kakao Talk. But if you're a snake, then you trying to sneak into the crevice and find yourself a undeserved seat and stole everything and kill what you don't like, or you eat up everything without thinking about anyone, and you became something like Mini Jin. And I I don't want to be so cynical or negative about men in this way, but it only takes one woman. In the end of the day, it only takes one woman to bring down a really good man. One snaky woman is enough, unfortunately.
They are actually kindred spirits in that way. I don't know to what extent he would be untrustworthy if he's on the same wavelength as Mini Jin as outright betrayal. Probably have to ask Mickey Lee about that. Mickey Lee is the head honcho of the CJ ENM group, basically part of the controlling family. And she yeah,
Chebo.
she's the one that like accepted the Academy Award for it was either Parasite or Minari. And so she's a big wig. Anyhow, so remember how Kakao acquired SM Entertainment? So he
Yeah.
was this Kim Sung-soo guy was very instrumental at that. So it's like, okay, well, why wouldn't you just be satisfied with acquiring SM Entertainment, because obviously that still needs to be digested and is not digested very well. And there was a lot to deal with whether that was a stock manipulation play where they were able to beat out Hybe
Yep.
to acquire SM
Mm-hmm.
Entertainment. But now it's just looking, he's still been busy because this looks really shady in the sense of Mini Jin, it looked like she wasn't just going to stop at Hybe and a door. Like she was going to use Pang Shi-hyuk, destroy Hybe, take a door. Then also, in the way that looks, because now the onus is on Mr. Kim.
She is wanted to eventually sneak into Kakao as well, and through Kakao she would have take over SM in the help of the CEO of Kakao Talk, because in my opinion she should have, or he had easily convinced the CEO about her leading abilities and how she could change the system in K-pop eventually, and bring some freshness into SM, and maybe lure some old artists from SM who are not part of the company anymore, that she can convince them that this is a changed company and everything is different, and you can come back, and we're going to do the utmost to make your musician life good again. And I can easily see that she was promised a really high seat in SM from the Kakao Talk CEO. So yeah.
Kim Sung-soo, like, come out and like, sever ties with this Jezebel. But it looks like now y'all in cahoots where you was gonna use a door as a platform, then to really take over the music industry.
I'm so sorry. My dog was in playing mode and she broke into my room.
In a way, but really it looks like Mini Jin was going to use you, Mr. Kim Sung-soo, like you were going to be the fool to be used, and that she would eventually find a way to take over Kakao Entertainment take that out, and then she gets to be the empress. In that, if that slick move, because I'm sure that the shaman's end game is total world
Yeah,
domination.
yeah.
In that end move, she would not only have just started as a graphic designer at SM Entertainment,
My passion
and
is graphic
then
design.
now own SM Entertainment, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
own it plus a little bit of extra, because SM Entertainment is just now one of the
It calls
subsidiaries
for
of
another shot.
Kakao Entertainment Group. So she can have everybody bow at her. But just as Kakao acquired, it seems, SM Entertainment through cheating, she would acquire this also through cheating and manipulation. And you can
Yeah.
see, like, if you do it that way, the product that you get actually, it's just like a hollowed out shell, because by that time people just can't stand that stuff and they're just leaving. And
Everybody knows about it.
ironically, she was trying to make Adora a hollowed out shell for her to then force Hybe to sell it to her at a basement price to just get rid of it. Well, thank goodness, because where she goes is a path of destruction that leads to hollowed out shells. How does she know so much about it to use that phrase so frequently? So, Mr. Kim Sung-soo, you were a groundbreaker
She
at
prepared for it.
CJENM, but you should have watched a few of your own dramas to be able to spot a snake. Otherwise, you look untrustworthy yourself, and actually that changes the way that I would write this K drama, that you would be essentially a cohort, a co-conspirator of the main antagonist. And I'm saying, like, he really oversaw a great boom in K drama. Studio Dragon, which is a real creative hub and producer of amazing K dramas, also subsidiary of CJENM. Amazing. And so it was spun off, and well, he oversaw that whole thing as well. So let's not besmirch your impact on K drama, K entertainment, the Korean wave around the world.
Yeah, but as I've said, one woman is enough to take down a man. Simple as that. You can be the most successful human being in the entire world, or in this case, in your country or your profession, like the CEO. And one Min Hee-jin is enough. So she is going to find your weakest spots and she's going to use it against you. And you can do nothing about it because she's know you too well. And probably she done this before. It's not her first rodeo. So, I mean, if you really think about it, I would say that she did similar to Isuman, and then she pretty much semi seduced Bang Xiak eventually, and here we are. So yeah, the main takeaway of this video is that one man against one woman, they know how it's going to end. So yeah.
Over just a little bit of a Jezebel tying you around her finger. Now, the second thing is that we have to get rid of the hostage situation on the 16th floor, if they even actually go there. We don't know where them girls are locked up in their stuff.
I mean, honestly, it would be a banger of a horror movie title. Hostage in the 16th floor, or just the 16th floor. It would hit.
Stockholm situation, but the New Jeans parents, they need to have a come to Jesus moment and realize that the best situation and future for their daughters is to separate themselves from Mini Jin. Nobody has to try that hard to lock you into a Stockholm situation if it really is beneficial for you. There's some other thing going on there. But I think what Hype can do is leverage things that they do give to the New Jeans girls and take it away or threaten to take it away in a way that won't create a scandal. Because, you know, of course, I think what Hype and the new Adore management is suffering from is that they don't want to do anything that can then be manipulated and used against them. So they're treating them with kid gloves. But in the long run, just like a lot of those, you know, videos you see about confronting bullies, is that once you give a little bit of a fight back and defend yourself, they just go running. And so
Yeah, but then not just Honey, but the whole New Jean group, New Jeans group is going to go to the National Assembly and file for workplace behaviors are not suitable to a healthy place to be during work hours, like. And Hype and Adore has to play this game really, really neatly in order to come out as a winner. If we take this type of behavior into consideration, like, yes, you have to be able to stand up against the bullying, even if it's coming from a kid group, a children group like New Jeans, because they are children. Like, whether if they are above the age of adulthood or minors, they are a children group. So, and their behavior is prove it. Their behavior is mirroring their age quite well. And this situation and in this situation is really unfortunate, because they should be able to distinguish what is right or and wrong in order to grow and protect their future in this industry.
I think they need to threaten some changes. Maybe, and Korean people are so good at being able to threaten without having it blow back on them. So threaten their shelter, their luxury apartments, but don't put it in that way like, oh, we're going to cancel your contract. Maybe they can find a way where they're saying, like, well, it's violating some codes, or the maintenance fee is too expensive and you don't want that to come out of your eventual payout, or the budgets for their promos, or
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
the auto tune suddenly doesn't work in the studio, lenses, lighting. But I think a big
The
thing is
shade, the
that they
shade.
should probably change or threaten to change the contracting with the music video director, because that person's been in their pocket for so long, and test to see whether they really depend on him, over depend on him.
As they are depending on Minhyjin. Yeah, they should Hype and Adore should take away New Jeans, New Jeans sort of lifeline or lifeguards, like the videographer, and there was another director or creative that Minhyjin brought into the production of New Jeans. So there is three-person Minhyjin, the videographer, and another person, if I remember correctly, that are with New Jeans from the beginning. So yeah, with really subtle methods, Adore and Hype should be able to figure out how to manage the New Jeans members' behavior and attitude towards their work and towards their upper management and leadership.
to make their image. And maybe they're going to get some music video director that, doesn't know how to use the lights as well. Or the composer, the songs kind of threaten behind the scenes that all the good songs are just going to go to Le Seraphim or Islet.
Mm-hmm. The composer.
There's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot I think
The
you can
third
do, but
person.
in the end, I think the parents should be told, because it is the truth, that the longer they associate themselves with Mini Jin, the more their girls are going to look crazy by association. The more their girls are going to look less trustworthy and honestly less investable because of their ongoing commitment to craziness. You don't think that other mamas and daddies in that situation are just waiting for a green light to have at them? Just saying. Instead of an injunction meeting about Mini Jin and all of her problems, those parents need to consider that they need to have some meetings of their own to actually take care of the New Jeans girls.
But that would be good parenting. And as I've said, and that he said, Solar TV, in the other video that that I made, commenting his video, that yeah, the parents should do their own press conference at this point, like, and not just in the name of protecting their children, but protecting themselves as parents, because the South Korean society not going to take them seriously, and they are going to be labeled as bad parents. And at this point, a lot of grown-ups and other parents that are maybe a little bit older look at this situation and say that they are not good parents and they don't know shit about how life works. Like, they are making a petty drama about nothing, and they are not protecting their children. In the opposite, they are playing PR manager in online and ruining the reputation of their children and they themselves, like their own uh, reputation as well in online. So I mean, I would be really interested to see if the 10 parents would do a press conference, and yeah, it would be interesting, definitely.
Isn't that what people are there for to begin with? It's the artists, the music, not Mini Jin and her elaborate attempts. They need to forget about all of this like other drama, which is also a reason why you want to separate the business and the production. There's not enough time, obviously, with Mini Jin doing all this scheming, and even under the best scenarios, that's the environment it is. You need to have somebody completely dedicated with defending the fort, fortifying the fort, and then have somebody else or another team lead the production, because you can't have people saying like, oh well, we were taking care of corporate takeovers and like manipulation of Kakao Talk shares and like and not do the music. You're there for the music, so let's hear a song. All right, guys, what do you think? We have coming up this week the October 15th National Assembly testimony by Honey about like Hello Gate. And then the 17th, we have J-Hope returning from the military and the special shareholders meeting.
Yeah.
Then on the 25th, we're going to have the deadline for the judge, and the judge will rule on this injunction then. But what are they going to injunct? Because it already, whatever could have been injuncted happened October 17th. So more drama to come.
Yeah.
Put your comments below. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.
Yeah, but unfortunately, as I was saying that whether we like it or not. Like, Minhee is Minhee, and as though everyone is here for the music, of course, as always. I mean, at least I am here for the music. I mean, but if they are making a controversy and drama like this, like, a lot of people is going to looking out for it, and I am looking out for it as well. I mean, I'm doing the videos about it, and I have a lot of thoughts about it, because this is a really, really interesting situation, which is not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen something like this in the close future in South Korea again. In the light of going to court with types of baseless accusations and something that is not punished by law, like not saying hi in the elevator, and copying other groups when you are not copying, and probably the other half who is accusing you is copying you. But yeah, so the dates, I've corrected myself in the first video. So tomorrow, and when you going to see this video, it's going to be the 18th. No, yes, 18th. This video is going out in 18th, which means the 17th is going to be gone then. And yeah, I can't wait for the next video of Solar TV. And the soju is hitting a little bit. So while I'm under the influence, I'm going to do another video and I'm going to have fun. So I'm going to take the link to this video, the original video, in the description. And guys, tell me about how you feel about this, because this is a lot right now and a lot of bullshit as well. So have a nice night. It's night where I'm, but when you're going to see this video, it's going to be day for you. So